Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hey, fine folks, this is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. I am your host. Folks, just got off with Goldilocks, and we reviewed some information that is very important for you to understand that is going to happen on January the 1st when it comes to currency, foreign currencies. Think of it like this, and this is going to be a standard. Have you ever gone to a restaurant, a place of business, and you were treated so well? You had the white glove, red carpet treatment, treated like the best customer. And then you've gone somewhere else and you were not treated so well. The place where you were treated with the utmost respect and best customer service, they set a standard for you to expect to be treated that way anywhere and everywhere else you may go. On January the 1st, there is going to be a new standard for foreign currency exchange that goes into effect all over the world. It's an international standard. Let's jump into it. New international financial reporting standards. The requirements for currency accounting, which are effective for annual reporting periods, begin on or after January the 1st, 2025. Goldilocks is sharing. This will help investors to understand the risks and effects of a currency that is not exchangeable at the time. The requirements for this standard include new disclosures to help investors understand these effects. Goldilocks is sharing there are some other things to consider about foreign currency exchange rates, and it follows. The foreign exchange risk. So, that occurs when the value of a currency fluctuates. There are going to be standards that go into effect. And these standards are important for you to understand and know why they are so important, because they do affect currency exchange rates. The standard also includes the shipping industry, for which Goldilocks has always coined the phrase watch the water, because all of our currencies are affected in trade country to country around the world, because that is where most of a country's currency's value goes up or down in trade, on the water. As countries ship goods and services around the world. See, the shipping industry is particularly vulnerable to foreign currency exchange rate fluctuations because of it as a global nature. Shipping companies make many international payments in various currencies. You see why it's so important to watch the water and how relevant currencies are in global trade? These new standards are going into effect because of the new digital transition taking place in the shipping industry. Remember, Goldilocks shared that Iraq has digitized their ports and customs and borders? Remember how the U.S. is doing the same thing? The use of local currencies, so the use of each country's currencies, will also level the playing field on marine insurance. Speaking of level the playing field, remember the 47th president, who is the Donald Trump, mentioned that he will level the playing field as well when it comes to our currencies. No coincidence what's happening. The International Financial Reporting Standards will affect foreign currency exchange in 2025, folks, due to the amendments that are coming down the pipe. The amendments are effective for annual reporting periods beginning on or after January the 1st. You must understand, when you see the international standards, it includes all of the standards for foreign currencies. Guidance, disclosures are relevant to this as well. The amendments for the guidance is how to determine if a currency is exchangeable and how to determine the exchange rate when it's not previously determined. I'm going to repeat that again. The guidance, these amendments provide guidance on how to determine if a currency is exchangeable and how to determine if the exchange rate when it's not. Disclosures. Goldilocks is sharing that amendments require companies to disclose information to help users understand the impact of a currency that's not exchangeable. The amendments apply to entities that have transactions or operations in a foreign currency that is not exchangeable into another currency. Do you have any currencies right now that are not exchangeable? Think about it. These amendments and these new rules that go into effect in July will include currencies that we may hold that currently are not exchangeable. The effects of changes in foreign exchange rates. It's an international accounting standard board. It's a standard that provides guidance on how to account for foreign currency transactions and operations in financial statements. So you understand that the effects of what is going to happen on January 1st also determines the currency in which an institution records and measures its transactions. There will be an international standard for all financial institutions to follow as it pertains to foreign currency exchange rates. Also, there is generally recorded records for the conversion rate of one currency into the other, whereby on that specific date that someone does an exchange, there is certain standards that must be followed during the transaction, and this is all done digitally. This also affects the financial statements of a foreign currency operation from one currency to the other. So let's say, for example, someone exchanges dinar in the U.S. for U.S. dollars. There are statements that the bank where you exchange your currency at must disclose to the bank for which the currency you're exchanging. So let's say you exchange at a U.S. bank, you're exchanging dinar for U.S. dollars. The U.S. Treasury must provide certain bank statements of that transaction to the Central Bank of Iraq. Or for whatever currency that you may exchange, there are certain standards that must be followed. And this is very important that Goldilocks is sharing, because it addresses how central banks and institutions can account for foreign currency transactions and operations. which include buying goods for international suppliers and paying in whatever currency of that country. Having a foreign operation such as a central bank or institution, there are certain standards that they must follow. All of this is happening with these new standards that go into effect on January the 1st. For example, with these financial statements, presenting financial statements in a foreign currency other than its own entity is not accepted. This here as the standard is for every institution around the world they must follow. These standards go into effect with the expectation that every financial institution that participates in foreign currency exchanges, the expectation is that they will follow the standards. Goldilocks is sharing this does not mean that the exchange rates are going to change on January the 1st, but it does mean that new price pressures are about to begin. So in other words, this does mean that there will be new demands on foreign currency around the world with a new standard that will be followed. Goldilocks is sharing now that we have currency standards for foreign currency exchange rates that will begin on January the 1st, 2025. So just think, just like you go to a restaurant and the standard was set, you now have an expectation afterwards to be treated with certain white glove treatment because the bar is set high. The standards are set to a different, higher level. On January the 1st, 2025, there's a new bar that is set for foreign currency exchanges. The standard is a new standard that goes into effect, whereby the banks and all financial institutions, no matter where they are in the world, must follow a new digital white glove standard effective January the 1st, 2025. Again, this does not mean, Goldilocks is sharing, that effective January 1st there will be new exchange rates. This does mean that January the 1st, 2025, there's a new standard for all institutions to follow for foreign currency exchanges moving forward. The question that many can pose, why the new standards now, effective January the 1st? Just like some of you may or may not be aware, January the 1st, new IRS regulations go into effect as it pertains to foreign currency exchanges as well. No coincidence. Think about it. Put this in your wheelhouse and know all is well and moving forward. Be well, be kind. We love you unconditionally. Take care.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. brought to you by Freedom Fighter.